Hi, greetings, my brothers and sisters in grace, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. And I've been doing Bible study with only my 6-year-old son, my 7-year-old son. So I haven't been doing the extensive study that I do, like with my husband and my daughter. So I'm going to use a cheat sheet and basically talk about some of the things that me and my son talked about regarding the book of Exodus. And we talked about the Levi and how Moses' mommy and daddy comes from the Levi, which the Levi is originally one of he's Joseph's brother, and so one of the 12 tribes of Israel, and which would be one of those of Joseph's brothers. So we left off with how Moses killed an Egyptian soldier who was beating on a Hebrew slave because he didn't like it too much. So we talked about how Moses was a sheep herder, and that was his job because he was raised by Pharaoh's daughter. So the assumption is that he got a really easy job growing up in the house of the Pharaoh. He wasn't put out to build pyramids and other the harsh labor that the other Hebrews and Israelites were suffering through. And so when Moses killed the Egyptian soldier or the Egyptian slaver, he thought nobody saw him. But there was a good chance that somebody did see him. And so, although Moses wasn't trying to get caught, something inside of him inspired him to go hide and run, because he had just killed this Egyptian soldier. And a lot of people say that he was afraid that people will find out that he's the one that killed the Egyptian soldier, the Egyptian enslaver, and that's why he ran. So where does Moses end up? Moses ends up in Muslim country. He ends up where the Muslims are, and he marries a Muslim wife, and he works with his Muslim father-in-law until one day he was out doing whatever he was supposed to be doing for his Muslim father-in-law or for the Muslim tribe that he was with, and a burning bush descended upon him. And God instructed Moses to go back to Egypt and instruct the Pharaoh to let his people go. So Moses was like, no, I don't want to do that. That's not something that I really want to do. But he did that. He went, he gathered up his wife, he gathered up his son. His wife, being a Muslim woman, did a very respectful act to encourage Moses' quest. She circumcised their Muslim child to prepare him for when they did reach Israel under the covenant of Israel. So she circumcised her Hebrew child, her Hebrew Muslim child, in honor of God. And that's a very big deal and a very respectful thing to do. And it shows that women in the Bible, we also are called to support, our husbands and support the quest that God give. So she did that. And so what happened is he finally reaches Egypt. And when he gets to Egypt, he tells the Pharaoh what God instructed him to tell the Pharaoh, which is, let my people go. And the Pharaoh doesn't listen. And therefore, Moses goes through these series of plagues. And he tells him, if you don't let God's people go, frogs are going to come. And Pharaoh said, big deal, I don't care. let the frogs come, and the frogs came. And he says, the river's going to turn to blood. And Pharaoh said, I don't care. Let the river turn to blood. And we have all these series of warnings that Moses gives to Pharaoh before he gives him the final warning. And he says, your firstborn are going to die. Really? I'm busy. Can you, like, step off for a sec?
Oh, hello. I'm her son, and my name is Jealous, and I'm about to win again. So, if you want to watch me, you can just watch me on the video.
Okay.
Oh, boom. Bam, 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 bam.
Okay, anyway. So, you have this series where he tells them, let my people go. And so, Pharaoh finally says, go. You've killed my firstborn. You have to go. So, he tosses the Israelites out of Egypt. And his wife, and again, women, support your men. Supporting your man, you got to be careful. His wife says to him, you just let them walk out of here. You just let all of our help go. You've turned us into this poor country. We don't have any slaves. Who's going to do all this work? And all the things that crazy women say. So Pharaoh gathers up his army, and he's going to go get them back, and he's going to renege on his word. He's going to go get them back. So he chases them to the Nile River. And when he gets to the Nile River, the Hebrews have saw him coming, and they're talking to God, and they're asking God, land is that way. We're against this river. What's going to happen? And this is where you have the situation of the parting of the Red Sea, where Moses lifts up his staff, and the sea parts, and the Israelites walk through. So as the Israelites walk through the sea, the Egyptians see this, and they do not stop their pursuit. They see the walls parted, and they see the Israelites just floating through. And so Pharaoh, he pursues them. And just as the last of the Israelites are on the other side, and all of the Egyptians are in the center of the Red Sea, the Red Sea comes crashing down upon them. And a lot of Pharaoh's army drowned. And this begins the journey that the Israelites will do in the desert, 40 days and 40 nights. And come back for the next one, because I'm going to do it right behind this one, because it's the end of February, and I want to get all of Exodus done. So God bless, and have a good night.